My name is Connor Pullinger, and you should go pluck yourself.
Hello, welcome to Go Pluck Yourself, the Actor's Pursuit. My name is Chris Gunn. Thanks for being here. Episode 2. Oh my God, we're doing it. I don't know if you guys have heard of this concept of doing one thing every day that gets you closer to your goal. I don't necessarily think I believe in that or anything. I'm not like a hustle culture guy. But if you are trying to follow that rule, why don't you make Thursday the day that you listen to this podcast? I'm going to be releasing an episode every single Thursday at the same time every week. So make sure that you hit subscribe or follow on whatever platform you're listening or watching on so that you get that notification every Thursday morning so you can start the day with some creative inspiration. By the way, where are you listening? Are you having the day off? Are you tying your shoes for your morning run? Are you rotting in bed? Are you on your way to an audition? Screenshot your podcast player and tag me in your story at Go Pluck Yourself Pod. And let me know where you like to listen. You know, I honestly think that so much of my acting education has come from listening to podcasts. You know, I started a cleaning business about 4 years ago. So I would literally spend every single day with my headphones on, just listening to acting podcasts all day, every day. I think I've listened to like 280 episodes of In the Envelope by Backstage and 300 episodes of Smartless. I also listen to Blind Boy. It's not a acting podcast, but it sure gets you thinking, but I love it. And it's part of the reason why I wanted to start this podcast. You know, there's like 1,000,001 interviews out there of the big stars, which are so great and so useful and have been great resources for me and my learning. But I wanted to speak to the people that are still on their way up. You know what I mean? Like the unknowns. You know, those that are still trying to claw their way out of obscurity. And yes, it's extremely helpful to listen to those that have already made it big. And I definitely want to be spotting this podcast with some bigger names if I can. But I really want to be talking to the actors that are going through it right now. You know, what's it really like to be pursuing this extremely uncertain career in 2025? So yeah, that's what this podcast is for. What are you going through right now as an actor? So I hope this helps. I hope it opens you up to some different perspectives, and I hope you feel welcome in this community, because you are. This is a space where we can all connect and all hear from each other. Well, okay, I'm ranting. We are going to get to my guest in just a minute. If you want to skip ahead past all this patter and get straight to the chat, go for it. I don't mind. But I just wanted to say the biggest thank you for all the love you guys have shared for episode 1. Because you know what? It's really scary putting something like this out into the world. It's bloody terrifying. And I know that you guys can relate to that because I've seen some of you guys posting some of your own stuff. And we have this kind of tendency as creatives to preface everything that we put online with this little message of like, hey, by the way, I feel very awkward doing this. And yes, it always feels awkward. It always feels selfish and self-indulgent. And you can't help but think these things like nobody cares or people think you're annoying. But I think these feelings just inherently come with the act of putting yourself out into the world like that. And look, that kind of negative self-talk is real. It's there. It's heavy, but it's not helpful to me and it's irrelevant. And I know that because there have been so many beautiful messages from so many of you. You know who you are. So thank you so much for anyone that's reached out and just sent me messages of support, telling me that they really enjoyed episode 1 and telling me to keep going. It absolutely means the world to me to hear from you guys. Thank you everyone that's listened to the first episode. I think we've got to like 230 views on YouTube, which is pretty good for a first episode for a channel that didn't exist a week ago, you know. All right, here we go. Guys, my guest this week is a local treasure. He's extremely prolific. If you're a local actor or filmmaker, you've definitely seen his face or seen some of his work. And if you haven't, it's truly an honor to introduce him to you. He completed his Bachelor of Fine Arts honors in acting back in 2023. And since then, he's not only been working consistently, but he's been absolutely cleaning up with awards with any film that he's associated with. In fact, 2 of his recent films are nominated for Best Short in next year's Actor Awards. And that's for The Bear Hunt, directed by Lily Drummond, and for Great Deliverance, directed by Guy Henderson. 2 absolutely stunning looking films that I cannot wait to see. He's also just finished shooting another short called Be Seen, Not Heard, directed by Louis Dawson. So keep an eye out for that one. Oh, and his short film Bulldog, apparently it's just hit 80,000 views on YouTube. So make sure you check that one out. I'll put a link to that film in the show notes. But yeah, have I said his name yet? No. Guys, it's Connor Pullinger, and it's a really great chat. It was recorded at 9:30 a.m. on a Saturday morning. I'd forgotten that I'd rescheduled a cleaning client for that exact same time, but I made it work. Also, I think my stomach kept grumbling through this chat, I don't think you can hear it on the microphones, but it was a bit distracting. Give Connor a follow. You can follow him on Instagram at Connor Pullinger or on TikTok at Connor Pulley. And look, I usually like to give a little advice disclaimer at the start of an episode, and that certainly applies for me for any of the bullshit that I project onto you guys, but it definitely does not apply for Connor because Connor is a very talented and very insightful trained actor. So, listen up, guys. You know the drill, guys. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow on whatever platform you're using to listen, and share this episode. Any and all engagement really helps this podcast reach the right audience. So thank you so much for doing that. Okay, that is enough rambling. Please enjoy my delightful chat with the marvelous Connor Pullinger. I raced back here.
Yeah, double booked.
So I was cleaning a house like 2 minutes away.
Oh, today?
Today.
Nice.
And
Okay.
then I went there, I did 1 hour of cleaning, and I'm like, I'm going to come back
Sure.
and finish the job.
Right.
Because I wanted to do this.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, so
okay,
here I am.
So here we are. We've
Yeah.
coffeeed up. Post-holiday blues have kicked in. Well, they've been kicking in.
Oh,
It's
tell
cold.
me about France. What are we doing in France, Connor?
Well, Chris, I went to Cannes Film Festival, which was...
Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah. Everyone says it differently. I'm just going to say Cannes. Sorry if you don't like that.
How do they say it over there?
Cannes. Oh, they're like... Cannes.
Careful.
It's no. It was like famous people everywhere.
Oh, yeah?
Turn to your left. I didn't see Tom Cruise, but like Tom Cruise was there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of ridiculous.
You could feel his vibe.
He was there.
You
I
could
was
feel
like,
it. Tom Cruise is nearby. I can...
yeah, something's not right. But it's so cool. Like that's just like amazing. And you can't really fathom it. Being in Australia, you feel so far away from that sort of stuff. And then when I was in France, I was walking past those people and I was like, oh my God, you're shorter than I
wild.
thought.
Yeah, yeah.
We're the same height. That's weird.
Oh, we do have hope.
Yeah.
We don't have to be 6 foot.
No.
Although we are both 6 foot. We just don't
We
have
are
to be.
so tall.
Yeah, we're both very tall.
Yeah. Turn the cameras off right now. How are you? How are you?
So sweet, man.
Good.
I've been busy. I've been acting.
We love to hear it.
It's so good.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Like that's what it's all about.
Yeah. I've been in Melbourne shooting a
Melbourne?
commercial.
How was it?
So fun.
Yeah. Was it long?
It was a 2-day shoot. Very ambitious.
Oh,
For a 60-second online commercial, it was...
great.
There were a lot of shots. Like I played 2 characters. And so I played like the main protagonist.
Sure.
I play his dad when I'm a baby.
Okay. Yeah,
Right?
I see that.
And then I play his dad when I'm grown up. Like so I play like the dad as an old man and a middle-aged man.
Did you get aged up?
Yeah.
Like prosthetics?
But
and
it's
stuff?
just for one shot.
Oh, that's
they
so
they were
cool.
going to do the latex and stuff. They're like, oh, is this just a wide? Because I had to do a plate. So like I was sitting at a dinner table, and I'm in the same frame as my young self. And so they framed it up, and I'm
cool.
sitting there with all the old
So it'll
old
be
man
you as well,
makeup.
set, like facing
yeah.
yourself.
And so I'd like do that shot, and I'd have like a stand-in to play
so
young
sick.
me.
Oh my God.
And then I would like, it was just a 60-second ad, so it's a quick
Sure.
moment.
Sure.
And I'm like applauding myself.
Cool.
And then I would jump up,
Mm-hmm.
run to hair and makeup. They'd like scrub all the lines and wrinkles out of my lines and wrinkles.
Come on.
They put a wig on me because I had like
Oh,
this
true.
curly little
What was
wig.
it? Like these kind of curls or like full
Yeah,
mullet
a li-
vibe
no,
or-
like kind of like that, but a little more volume.
Uh-huh. It's all
Yeah.
about the volume.
And so I chucked on my wig, and then I was like clean shave. I ripped off the moustache because
my God,
old
fake
man had
moustache.
big bushy moustache.
That's so sick.
So fun. And then I jumped back into the frame and like sit where my stand-in was, and he goes and sits where old man me was,
you were.
and then
Showbiz.
couple of
movie
takes,
magic.
boom,
Wow. That's so fun.
so fun.
Well, is it going to be out soon? Do we know?
I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe a couple months.
Hopefully.
Sounds like a pretty hefty edit.
Yeah.
So,
See, it's like, it's annoying we can't just do that. I mean, we want to be doing that every day.
I know,
But when it comes, it's so good.
I know. And then when you realize it's the last shot of the shoot, you're like, is this the last shot?
Could this be the last shot
I'm
of
just
my
going to do
career?
a few really bad takes.
Yeah. Let me stumble and be like, can I
do we have
just
to do that again?
a shot for me?
Oh,
Can I do
no.
it? Can I do a silly one?
Yeah. It's so sad when they rap.
Yeah. And then it's just like, I'll see you on the next one.
Yeah. See you never.
If you want to hire me again.
And then we all hug
Yes.
Everyone's best friends, you know.
Yeah.
So
Did you
much
know
fun.
any of them since they're all
Yeah,
in
the
Melbourne?
director is from New Zealand, and I
Cool.
worked with him 13 years ago. So he
That's so cool.
he called me 2 months ago
Oh my God.
and was like, "You're acting." I'm like, "I've always been acting." He's
Oh,
like, "Oh, I didn't know, but you've been posting."
See?
He's like, "Can you come to Melbourne? I want you for an ad."
Cool.
There you go. So you never know. Every 13 years you might get hired.
Okay. I can live with that. It's
not bad.
I'll wait. Okay, so I've got like 11 more years.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nah.
Cool. You know, I've spoken about social media like heaps with friends, like other actors, random people, because they're like, "Oh my God, you're so busy."
Yeah.
I'd
Why
like
do you think you're so busy? Because you are. Like, you sent me a list of your credits. I was
Well,
like, fuck, man, that's
Some of those were done in like 2022, but they just kept going.
that's not that long ago.
Well, look, I'm a bit of a workaholic, and I think it's if I'm not doing anything, I have to go and see something that will like stimulate my brain.
In terms of like going to see theatre or
totally.
watch
Or
a
a film
shit ton
or-
of films and stuff. Yeah.
I feel creative juices leaking, and I'm like, I just need to start doing something or putting my eyes on something that's going to make me feel something.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, complacency is crazy. You can just like get a little too comfortable. Luckily, I've been kind of going from job to job or like thing to thing that's kept my brain active. It's been cool.
Like when did we meet?
When did we meet?
I don't know.
God, I don't know.
Did you do like a workshop? Teresa Palmer?
The Teresa Palmer one. I was going to say.
Did we meet
yes.
at that?
I think we did.
Oh, shit.
And I probably knew of you through the Adelaide, you know, the community. But I think we properly met then, which was 2023? 4?
Fuck, I
Was
don't
that
know.
last year? I don't even know. Not
Yeah,
last
it was
year.
like, yeah, maybe. But I only just sort of started getting back into that world around then.
Oh, did you have a break?
Not a break, just took my foot off the gas. Just circumstance.
Yeah.
Wasn't in the right headspace to
Was
do
it-
that kind of stuff.
Hard to get back into it?
No, I realized that I loved it.
Yeah.
And before that I didn't realize what I loved.
Yeah.
You know, post COVID,
Yeah.
everyone was kind of lost.
weird.
No one knew who they were anymore.
COVID
Just
was
kind
a
of
weird
recovering
time.
from that period and
Yeah.
being like, oh, I need to get back into like what is it that I like doing again? Like,
Reconnect
how do I be
with
creative?
Self.
Yeah. So that's how I like looked out for workshops and stuff, and
Cool.
and
And
then I was
then
like,
it picked up like majorly. I didn't realize you even had a break. I thought you were just like
well, I mean, I've been doing it since I was
gunning
like
for it.
gunning for it. Doing it since I was like a teenager. So
Yeah.
Or- yeah.
When did you start?
maybe 14.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean performing since I was a child,
Yeah. Baby.
baby.
Baby
I think
on
I did a
stage.
piano recital when I was 4. you
Oh,
know?
okay, true.
So I was always on stage,
Yeah. doing
but
something.
never called myself an actor until maybe 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. What about you? Where did it all begin?
Where did it all begin? It was the same. I was like a child dancer, singer, actor.
Yeah,
you know,
nice.
like I couldn't stop.
Yeah.
And I loved watching TV. Which,
Yeah.
like that, I watched Doctor Who and I was like, I want to be in that. I bought the action figures so that I could be that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was always trying to create my own stories and like insert myself in that. And then I did all the primary school, high school performances. And then I did like the youth drama classes outside of high school because I wasn't getting enough.
Where was that?
It was Say Arts at the time, South Australian Youth Arts. It was in Unley, close by. My school was great and they were so supportive of creative arts.
Yeah.
But my school was a bit more like mathematic and musical focused.
Yep.
So a lot of the students they were interested in drama, but they weren't from like drama families or creative households. Right.
Yeah.
Whereas this youth arts, everyone was from creative households. And that's why they're at these extracurricular.
What about your household? Was it like a...
Well, my sister's an actor and I saw her have to fight loads of people to be like, no, this is what I want to do. No, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Specifically teachers. Teachers are just weird about it. They're like, but maths methods. It's like, I don't enjoy that.
Yeah.
No, if I'm in that class, I'm not going to do well.
Yeah.
And so she sort of paved the way that when it came to my turn, I was like, well, you let her in. So I'm not going to do anything else. I remember in year 12, I was like, I guess I could be a psychologist.
Yes.
But, it just wasn't my calling. And I was like, it's the only thing I want to do.
Yep.
So I'm just going to have to try. And I'm just going to have to be a bit delusional and just keep trying.
Where would we be without delusion?
That's a great point. Where would we be? Sometimes you need to be a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
And like convinced, if you're not convinced, no one else is going to be convinced.
Absolutely.
Which is a whole thing.
Yeah, it's kind of that fake it till you make it kind of thing, but also
with the knowledge and the skill to back it up.
Absolutely.
But
yeah, you can't just lie.
No, like that's psychopathic.
Yeah.
If you sort of know what you're talking about, awesome.
And you only sort of need to know.
Like a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Sometimes you just have to be in the right place, right time, and it's all going to work out. And that
there is that, but you create your own opportunities, You set that up for yourself, right?
Yeah. And so it all sort of fell into place just naturally. Like I did this youth arts class and then randomly casting directors came in. I booked
this is at Say Arts. Wow.
Yeah. Randomly.
So how old were you? Oh, really? How old were you around this time?
I was like 17, 16.
Nice.
But I knew I wanted to be an actor, but I was like, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to
study.
I'm just going to, yeah. And so, well, not at that point. I knew I wanted to do it after school, but I was like, I don't even know the schools.
Yeah.
But then I got like an actual job and I worked with people who were doing it for a living. And I was like,
what kind of job?
I was a supporting character on The Hunting.
Nice.
And it was like we were literally scouted from like little drama classes.
Wow.
If now I started getting those auditions, I would have freaked out and been like, this is like really cool. But back then I was like, oh my God, what the hell? Like, oh my God, I just got this like group audition. How fun's that? Let me try it.
Yeah, it was just fun back then, eh?
It was fun.
It's still fun now.
It's fun, but now there's just so much pressure because it's what I want to do as a job.
Yeah.
And it is what I wanted to do as a job, but it's just a silly thought that suddenly I landed that. And from that, I was like, okay, well, now I've done it. I can do it. So I just started going.
But how lucky you are to have had that experience that sort of landed you with the mindset of like, I can do it now.
Yeah.
Because I think the number one thing that stops people from pursuing it is like, I'm not able to do that.
There's like a block.
Yeah, there's some kind of block.
Like, I'm just not going to get over that fence. But I was like, I somehow got around the fence.
Yeah.
And I was like, well.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, you get the agent and you just start doing it. But I was like, I don't know how to act. Like I've never had the training and I feel like I want to learn. So then I auditioned for drama school and I was like, well, let's learn how to act while I'm auditioning for stuff. And if I happen to book something, cool, we'll make it work.
What, you would leave drama school?
Yeah, I never booked it.
So you didn't book. Congrats.
Yeah. But no, it was just like a good little backup plan of a black.
What is like
if I don't book a job, at least I'm at drama school and I'm learning to be a better actor.
Absolutely.
That's kind of the backup plan for acting was acting.
Yeah, you got to fall back.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not wasting your time.
No.
Like just sitting around waiting to
be
cast in something or waiting to suddenly know how to act or whatever.
Yeah.
You are actively learning, which is amazing.
I went to drama school and did that whole thing and then did 4 years of that.
Yeah.
And graduated in 2023. And then here we are.
Here you are.
Yeah.
And how was drama school? Tell me about that.
It was so good. It was so rewarding.
Where'd you go?
I went to Flinders Drama Centre, Flinders University. And it was like it truly taught me how to act. But more than that, it sort of developed me as a person, which I don't think you can unless you go to therapy. It was therapy. It was kind of therapy.
Yeah. What was if you could like summarize the main developmental takeaway from drama school, like what was it that got you over that line from you being just another actor or actually building some kind of individuality in what you do? Like what was it? What was the key moment in growth for you?
I became like super aware of myself just in everything. My identity, my body, the way I present myself, establishing myself as a creative. And, you know, it was just like so in drama school, you'll do 3 shows a year, right?
Wow.
3 theatre shows, which is insane.
Yeah.
You're in 3 shows that you get to do for 5 weeks each. That's a big chunk of the year.
Yeah.
Just acting. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's unreal.
That's what we all want. And so in drama school, you get that every year. Like, fuck, that's so sick.
Yeah.
And so the teachers, they and the directors, they look at you and they say, this person needs to access this.
Okay.
Or there's a part of themselves that they're going to get a lot out of this character. And so they sort of do this mind map, and then you get this character and you're like, oh God.
Yeah.
And it was like 3rd year when that all sort of started for me. Because after 2 years, I was like, first year was weird because of COVID, you know. But then 2 years, it's all about the establishing yourself and like breathing exercises and walking around the room, you know. That's real. It's real.
Yeah.
But it's actually so helpful.
What's the benefit of all that? What did you get out of that?
Grounding yourself and sort of stripping the ego, because everyone goes, oh my God, I got into drama school, I'm top shit.
Yeah.
And you're not top shit.
And you need to relearn that every now and then.
Like I could do breathing exercises all year round.
Yeah.
I should do breathing exercises all year just to like
just so you don't pass out.
Yeah, right. Physiologically.
Yeah.
Just to reconnect with like what, where, who, everything, you know?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I find getting into like a meditative state is what it is, you know?
Yeah. How do you even teach being present and aware? I don't know. It just happens. And it's like, that's why it's a 4-year course. That's a long time. But by the end of it, you're a different person.
Yeah, that's really interesting because I didn't study, but that's interesting that that's the takeaway you got out of 4 years of study. I mean, I would assume that it's something really analytical.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm sure you learned all the different, you know, styles and craft and all that stuff. But the key thing that you took away from it is this like personal insight and stripping of the ego and grounding yourself and breathing. Yeah.
Well, you totally do learn the analysis side of it, but and the methodologies, you learn them all. But the point is you learn them all so you can pick what one works for you. But if you don't know who you are, how are you going to pick? Yeah. How are you going to pick what works best for you? If you're like, I guess I'm this kind of person. You don't even know yourself.
Yeah. But also with like different styles and different forms of craft. Yeah. You know, they talk about the toolbox, you know.
The toolbox.
We're definitely going to get into cliches here. But
cool, yeah.
Like, I don't know what I'm using, and maybe I should have studied. It's not the path I took. I just didn't have time or whatever. No, like, now I'm 33. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. You're good. I couldn't not be in the industry for 4 years right now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I still feel like the tools that I do use, I don't know what they are necessarily. I couldn't articulate them or put my finger on them, but I'm sure I'm picking from different tools. You know, I'm picking and choosing as you know, ad hoc. You know, depending on what the character or the scene or the project calls for. So, you know,
reliant on context. And
it's not like one style is for this kind of person. No. It's like this might work for you today. Yeah. But it might not work for you this other day.
And also like a director might be like, what is that you're using? Whatever it is, it's working. Bring it in. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Or they'll be like, no, I want you to use this. And you're like, hey, I'll try it. And that's flexibility is everything.
Have you had directors like direct you from that angle? Like in terms of like, can you approach it through this craft or this style?
Not really. Like I've had most of my theatre work has been with people that trained at Flinders Drama Centre. So we all have the same kind of basis of training. So it's like...
Oh, I see. So you're speaking the same language.
Totally, okay. Which is awesome. It's so helpful. Yeah. But in film work, I've done a lot that's... like they study through different means or they just picked up a camera and started being successful. So that's great.
but then they're speaking a different
Differently.
language because they're, I mean, this is part of the reason why I wanted to start this podcast is because
Yeah.
I wanted to open up the conversation between different, like filmmakers and actors. Like, how do we actually speak to each other? And,
Yeah.
and where's the disconnect there? Because I have experienced that disconnect with directors or people that have studied like cinematography and they want to try their hand in directing, but they have no idea what language we speak and vice versa.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's so hard. Like if you have not spoken to an actor about like what works for you before the project starts, I don't know, like, or if you've not done a course with just working with actors or even for an actor we should ideally be able to translate whatever we're told to what works for us. But that's not always the case. Sometimes you are left a bit in the dark and you just have to be like, okay, break it down. You want me to look left, look right, look up, look down and cry?
Yeah.
I'll try
because
my
you
best.
will get that type of direction that's very practical direction. It's up to us to justify that in terms like through our character.
Yeah.
Like if
yeah, exactly.
you know, and that is part of the job. Like not every director is going to speak that language.
And the job is to make it look like a real person just did that. Yeah.
Because I would get like, I guess kind of defensive or something, but like, what do you mean you want me to just be angry? What am I angry about?
Yeah.
Like I need to know why.
Exactly.
But you know, it's my job to translate that to, okay, you want it louder. I'm like, I'm not just going to do it louder. Like there's a reason why this character is being louder, and that's up to me to figure that out. You know?
Yeah.
And I don't have to necessarily have that conversation with the director. You know?
No, like especially if there's time constraints, whatever. Sometimes you just got to knuckle down and get it done.
And also, sometimes the director is getting feedback from the DP saying, I just need him to hit this light on this line.
Yeah.
So I need him to lean over on this line or look up on this line. And you're like, okay, so this is literally just a blocking thing.
Yeah.
But I have to make it look real and
Totally.
make it look natural.
That is the thing. Just make it look natural. Sell it. I remember there was one that was like, can you just like ruffle your hair? Can you just like ruffle your hair? And I'm like, but why? Like, okay, yes, I can do that. But
Yeah.
like, the act of just like pulling my hand out of nowhere and just ruffling my hair. And it's like, yeah, it's like, I guess we can, but it's things like that are hard. And then you, it's on film. So you watch it forever and you're like, oh,
but only you know.
exactly.
Only you know how unnatural that felt.
Yeah. And if everyone else knows, fuck.
Nah.
But
no one's noticing that shit.
this flows sort of greatly into like the watching of our work. Like, and sometimes a moment can feel clunky in the moment, but somehow it works. And you're just like, I need to just like trust.
Yeah.
These people are on the other end of the camera. They're seeing it. I'm not.
Yeah.
Trust.
They're not going to let you look stupid.
No, exactly. And they've edited it. You know, they've looked.
Yeah.
But sometimes you watch it and you're like, that was not my best work. And now it's in a movie.
Yeah, it's immortalized.
Yeah. And you're like, well, off to festivals it goes.
Yeah.
And you've got to sit there and take it. But
That's when it's hard to watch. But
hard to watch.
in terms of like learning from your own work, at this stage in our careers, it's important, right?
Yeah.
And there are people that don't watch their work and they think they're Christian Bale.
Yeah. Or I don't even know what they think, but it's just like a weird.
It might just be too cringe.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Sure.
But what about like watching playback as we go? Because that's a different story.
That's different. Because sometimes, like, I would watch it from afar. You know, I'm not like getting close up, and that's not going to help me.
No.
But
Because
if
then
I'm-
you're too concerned with like, oh, I'm just trying to like, I just want my eyebrows to look good on this shot. And that's
like,
you're way out of it then.
What's going on?
Yeah.
What are we here for?
Yeah.
But if you're like, let me just look at it from afar. Oh, they walk off that way. I just need to like stare that way a bit more.
So this is like a blocking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can easily do that.
Yeah.
That's an easy fix. But if I'm right up and like, yes, I think watch it back for the sake of the film,
Yeah.
not for the sake of,
Trying to get it right
yeah.
in the moment. Yeah. That's a mistake. like even this commercial, there was like,
did you watch?
I watched when I needed to, like you were saying, like there was a shot where I'm running through the crowd and I've got 3 beats that I needed to hit, like 3 different extras that I needed to sort of interact with.
Yeah.
And they're crossing camera. And so I needed to time it properly. We're doing multiple takes so we can figure out the timing of it. So that's when I watch it back and be like, okay, when he gets to here, I need to be here.
Moving parts
that's blocking,
of it all.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so but in terms of watching a finished project back.
Do it.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm like, come on, what are we doing? You're running out the room when your film's on.
I fucking love watching my films.
Yeah,
I'm like, I did it, man.
Yeah,
I made a movie.
Hopefully made friends with the filmmakers. So be proud of their work.
I know.
Feel proud of your own.
How arrogant.
No, literally.
I'm not watching it though. They're like, oh, well, what?
Okay, what?
Why did you come?
Yeah.
Why did
Loser.
you? Yeah, dude. We all put in a lot of effort here.
Yeah, like a lot of people are just going to be like, oh, fuck me, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to see the work. Yeah. Weird.
So true.
But like sometimes if you've seen it a lot of times, you're like, okay, I don't need to watch it again. I know what I like about it and what I don't.
There are projects that I don't need to watch again.
Yeah.
And it's not. It might be because of the filmmakers, but it's definitely.
Who's to say?
I'm a big part in that. I'm like, I was still figuring it out, you know.
Yeah, and there are some films that look on the converse side. You're like, I don't think I want to watch this. As you're like, sort of as you're driving home from set, you're like, I think I did terrible work today. I don't think I want to watch that. But you got it. And sometimes it works.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And sometimes that's the motivation you need. So, because like that's a big learning thing as well. Like I was convinced this was bad work and it worked.
And somehow like within the whole context of it all, it just fits in.
Yeah.
And you're like, I just shut up.
Well, it kind of makes you trust yourself a little bit more that like, you're not as terrible as you think you are. You know?
Self-doubt.
Yeah.
How do you cope?
Self-doubt?
Yeah. About it all.
I'm in much more of a fuck it, let's just have some fun attitude these days.
Cool.
And I'm much more comfortable than I used to be.
Yeah.
Because I understand that the key is not trying to get it right.
Yeah.
And I used to really put a lot of pressure on myself to get it right. And I realized that it's a process.
Yeah.
The takes are there because we are figuring it out. We're working it and we're playing. Yeah. And we're having a collaborative conversation.
Yeah.
And it's okay to fail, you know.
Yeah.
Another cliche, but there it is. You know,
true.
it is.
It's true, yeah. You got to just sort of get over it. Sometimes
you just have to get over it.
Swallow it and be like,
you have a job to do.
Yeah.
And they've hired you. And they've auditioned a lot of people and they've gone, we trust you. And that's kind of scary, but you have to take something out of that and be like, they trust me because they know I can do it, and I think I can do it too now, you know?
Yeah. Delusion.
It's delusion at first, but then people believe you with good reason because you've gone through the process. You've auditioned.
You showed the fuck
you know?
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
What about you, man? Like, do you suffer from this imposter syndrome or the self-doubt thing?
Like, yes. Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes the imposter syndrome can be a thing, but also realistically, you know, sometimes you just got to be like, look, we made a film and everyone put their A game into it. And if it goes far, it's gone far.
Yeah.
You can't be like, oh, as if this is happening to me.
It didn't win.
Deal with it.
It didn't win the festival.
No, yeah.
You know?
Exactly. Like, just go with it. Yes, and turn up.
Yeah.
Let it wash. Let it wash over and soak it in.
Mm.
Because these moments are not going to last forever. So just enjoy it.
Absolutely.
For Christ's sake.
Yeah. We are so lucky to be able to do this. Even if whatever you call success, you know.
Yeah.
We are so privileged to have the life that we live where we, in our free time, we can choose to be actors.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
And strive to be an actor. Like, how fucking lucky we are, you know?
What's going on?
So we might as well. It'd be rude not to.
We might as well just like enjoy it since we've chosen it as a career.
I agree.
You know, it can be hard, and drama school was hard because it was every day. But at the end of the day, you get to do what you love and you chose it for a reason. So just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you, man.
And then now, the bursts of when we get work, I love it so much because it's like, it's not every day,
No.
you know?
I know it's special because there's so much time between jobs.
So much time.
Yeah. But I was thinking about this today, I think, because, you know, you kind of have this idea that people are miserable between jobs and all the auditions and the rejection and all that. And I love it all.
Yeah.
I think it's so exciting. I love going for auditions. I love sending them off and be like, great, I hope I get it, but, you know, moving on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then getting the phone calls and be like, you got a call back and be like, cool, all right, I still haven't got it, but like, it's so exciting.
Yeah, no.
And then losing it, being like, yeah, it's all right, I've already moved on to the next thing. It's fine.
Exactly.
But it's all such a privilege. And then when you do get to do a job, it's like, okay, I've got 2 days. I've got 2 days here. It's all happening right now.
Yeah.
I bet I'm going to put my phone away and I'm going to fucking be present. I'm going to be here, you know, and just talk to everyone I can and smile because I just love it. I love it so much,
crack a
man.
joke, yeah.
I'm with friends.
Yeah. That
the
is
best.
It is like, it's true because everyone can go, oh, I got an audition, you know, I got an audition. I've got 3 days to do it. It's like, yeah, but the feeling when I get an email notification, new request, I'm
best.
like, let's go. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like reading everything about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like on all the articles reading, because give me the information.
Yeah.
Let me read it. And then you do it and you're like, I really thought I nailed that. And you don't hear anything.
Nah, of course.
You're like, oh, okay, whatever, you know.
But there's
Into
another
the
one.
vacuum, and then you get another one. And it can be like, you can go a little crazy if you're like, oh my God, I just learned so many pages of dialogue for nothing. But it wasn't for nothing because someone watched it, hopefully.
Yeah.
Or they saw your thumbnail and thought, oh, he looks like so-and-so. We could maybe get him in for...
I don't think there's any wasted opportunity.
No.
I don't think there's any wasted audition. I've landed
true.
auditions. I've landed roles based on auditions I did like 10 projects back.
Yeah, how cool is that?
And I didn't have to audition for the one I got.
How cool is
Because it's the
that?
same casting director. And like, I've seen it. I've
Yeah,
seen
this
this
guy
character in
does
something
this
else.
thing. Yeah.
Let's get him. So there's
Yeah,
no
that's
wasted
so sick.
opportunity.
And when you just see the same casting directors pop up, you're like, look, they don't hate me.
Yeah.
So
You're on their radar. It's good.
Eventually they're going to like...
They're trying to get you.
I know.
They're trying to get you something. And so you just keep chipping away. Yeah.
It is really kind of weird. And then there's the whole, like with self-tapes, there's a whole like, my script analysis is I've got a method, this is the way I do it. But sometimes you get it like the day after, due the next day. Like, okay.
You got to streamline that shit.
I'm doing one today. Might as well just do this one that I just got in as well. I don't know the lines yet. Let's just do it on the go.
Yeah.
And sometimes those are the ones that I get callbacks for.
Why do you think that
What is that? Well, it's because I'm obviously like fluid with it. Or, you know, I'm not overthinking the choices. I'm just doing them.
Yeah.
Or literally
Just relying on your instinct.
cooking them up.
Yeah.
Being like, does this line means this? Because it's all analysis, right? Like I firmly believe that reading comprehension is everything.
Absolutely. It's understanding what the hell is going on.
Yeah. I don't know, like sentence structure is important and like these writers are they're smart.
Yeah.
So like just do what it says.
Yeah.
But like sometimes like analyzing too much can be a whole trap.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's so weird.
Yeah.
Like how do you even quantify what's a good audition? It's all vibes, isn't it?
It's it is
I hate
vibes.
that it's all
I've got a
vibes.
vibe meter
Yeah.
in my
And you're like,
studio.
oh, we just
Oh shit, I broke it.
Damn. Oh, I'm booking
Send that one
job.
in. Yeah. Do you find that like when you don't have the time to overthink it, like do you find that you have more success in those auditions?
Well, I kind of feel like, oh, let's just throw this one in. Let's just hope for the best.
Yeah.
But maybe that's the feeling. That kind of uncertainty is what I need to be chasing. Which is a weird thing in itself.
Well, I think you probably
It's a bit of both,
You're
I
probably so good at the process now that you can streamline it,
yeah.
and you should trust that you can do it very quickly.
Yeah.
That doesn't always have to be a long drawn out process. It can just be like, I know how to analyze a script. I don't write any notes.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
You just turn up.
I turn up.
Turn up. Yeah.
Sometimes I wear shoes.
Oh yeah.
You know,
whatever.
Sometimes I don't know, but learning that process and being able to streamline it is and trusting that you can do that on the go.
Yeah.
I think we should give ourselves much more credit than we do.
Totally.
You know,
It's so routine at this point.
Yeah.
I've got the setup and I'm like, I need this. I'm gonna need a chair, so I guess I'll just pull the chair over.
Mm-hmm.
I've got like an hour before work. Yeah, let's just smash it out and send it in.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. That that's the process auditioning for huge jobs, like jobs that you'd be like, God, I'd kill to be in that.
Yeah.
And you've just sent in like a 1.5 minute video that you've done in my dad's bedroom.
Yeah.
I use my dad's bedroom because he's got the best light set up.
Sorry, Dad, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, can you just wake up? I've
Yeah.
got to.
No, stay there. It's fine. I'll be chilling.
No, he's always out the house. Come on, I'm not free.
Sorry, Dad. I'll leave you to sit.
I'm not a freak. And so, I call up a friend from drama school or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, can we just like do this weird tape really quick? What a weird.
But not wanting it too much is going to work in your favor, right?
Because everyone's like, we can see the desperation.
Yeah, they can. They can smell it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
God forbid actors want to act, but also,
Of course we want it. Everyone wants the gig.
Yeah.
But if you give yourself the time to build it up in your head, you're like, I really, I need this gig, then that's what's going through your head when you're performing the scene.
Yeah, like what?
That's not what the character's thinking about.
They're like,
the character's not going, I hope I get this movie.
I want job.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
So if, I don't think we should not allow ourselves time to get to that point where we're like, I really need this.
No, you're right.
Just be like, I got an audition. I'm going to jump in. What does this character want? Go. Let's do it quick.
Because realistically, I guess they'll just open the tape and be like, oh, he doesn't quite look what we thought. Mm-hmm. Next.
Well, that's it. Like, and also
that's the vibe.
Go through so many auditions, hopefully.
Yeah.
I know you do.
Yeah,
so I shouldn't be here now. I should be auditioning. Okay, say you landed the job.
Yeah.
Because you've done a really last minute audition. You didn't have time to overthink it. You just nailed it.
Because I did it in like 15 minutes.
Yeah. But how do you prepare for jobs?
Yeah, I loved the research component at uni. And I loved writing essays and stuff. So if I can make like a master doc of all the things I need to know, that's what I'm going to do. And I want to, I'll make a playlist. I'll make a mood board.
Yeah, nice.
But it's like, it's cringy, but it just helps me get in the world. I'll try and talk to the director and be like, what movies should I be watching to get a vibe? It's just all, and then just conversations.
Yep.
It's kind of, but it's also case by case. Sometimes all I have to do is listen to a song a couple times and like cut my hair and suddenly.
How do you know you're ready to play a character? Like, how do you know when you're connected to a character?
Costume helps.
Yep. Totally.
Being on set.
Yeah.
I know it's just part of the thing, but if we're like filming in a house and I don't know what the house looks like, I'm like,
I won't know till I get there.
I need to know, I want to know what this house looks like.
Yeah.
But that's just part of, like, I'm a bit of a control freak, I guess, and I just need to like, I'll become familiar when I get there.
That's again like trusting that it'll happen.
Oh yeah.
When you get there.
Yeah. It's all the homework.
Yeah.
And your brain is like loaded up with the words and the meanings and the objectives and what the purpose of the film is or the whatever, the video. Like you need to know sort of where are we placing this in terms of everything that's ever been made?
Yeah.
Like what's the point? And then once you get in the shoes, like go for broke.
Yeah. And just be free.
Be free and just don't overthink it.
Because part of the preparation, it should not be preloading.
No.
How are you going to do it?
No, and you haven't heard how the other actor's going to say their words.
Exactly.
Unless there's a rehearsal process, in which case there's a fight scene or something, that's very different.
Yeah.
Ideally,
but again, there's like choreography or blocking or something.
It's all just a dance,
Or in terms of like even getting dialogue and not speaking over each other and making sure you know, there's all that sort of practical stuff that you have to keep in the back of your mind if you need it, if it comes up.
Yeah.
But in terms of, like getting onto set, trusting that in the build up to this shoot or this day, it's been sitting in my head. I can't exactly put my finger on what it was. I don't even, I have my notes, which might help you or some people like purge their ideas and just get them down because it, you know, and again, like it's going to work differently for different people. I'm not really a rote learner, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm more of an audible learner, you know.
True.
I have to listen to lines. I'll record them.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Line learning.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
we can get into that. How do you learn lines?
It's repetition. It's different for each thing. There's like this one method where you write out the first letter of each word and then it's like Morse code.
Yeah. Do you do that?
I have for big paragraphs.
See, I've never tried that.
But then I did.
I just assumed it wouldn't work for me.
Sure.
I don't know why.
Like, no, yeah. I was always like, no, that's not my style. But then I did it because there was this one paragraph I just couldn't learn. Because it had like, when it's good writing, sometimes good writing is really hard to learn. Sometimes bad writing is really hard to learn. Actually, cut that out. I don't know what I'm saying.
No, I know what you mean.
I don't know what I mean by that. But
like, I have heard that like, you know, it's good writing if the lines are easy to learn.
Yeah.
Because they make sense.
Because they make sense and there's like logic. You can justify it. But if a line, you're like, what does that even mean?
Why are they saying that? They're just filling in.
Then your brain like rejects that.
Yeah.
I find that sometimes. I'm like, I just have to change that.
Yeah.
For this self-tape, I just can't say that line.
Do you ever just discard a line just because you're like, doesn't make sense? I don't think you can do that, eh?
Sometimes I don't like a honey or a baby or a darling or one of those kind of words that are so sort of maybe they're character specific.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a line or a word that's going to drive the story, but it might say something about the character.
Yeah, and their relationship to the other person. But you're like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
but that's kind of just repetition. You just say it. I'll say it through the day, and it just sounds normal.
I find like doing sort of mundane activities.
Yeah,
those are really good places to
I'm
learn
always
lines.
in the kitchen and I'm just playing it. I did a play last year that was just paragraphs. It was like a monologue. Like there's and myself and the other actor.
Oh, I know this play.
Facts Tag.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It was a good play.
So much dialogue. With Henry Cooper.
Henry Cooper.
He's the best.
King.
Isn't he the best?
Are you out there?
We love you, Henry.
We love you, Henry. Yeah, that was just like a really mammoth task. Directed by Connor Reedy, also King. It's so much dialogue.
Yeah.
Well, it's storytelling, and it was easy to learn because it's well-written storytelling.
Who wrote that?
It was written by Jeffrey J. Fowler and Chris Isaacs, and we actually got to meet Jeffrey.
Wow. Did he see the show?
No, I wish. Well, actually, that would have been terrifying, but it would have been cool.
Maybe he found out afterwards.
Yeah. That was a really rewarding.
I was just beaming.
process.
I was like, you guys are so funny.
Because all the thoughts flow on from one another. So you like you talk about one thing, it's going to come up later.
Yep.
You've just got to sow the seed. It's hard if you miss a line and then you're like, I didn't set that up.
Yeah, and
bring
you've
it
just
back.
thrown Henry under the bus.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
That happened in rehearsals. Once we were doing like 3 runs a day of the show. And then we were like, oh, that moment's a bit weak. Let's just redo that section.
Every single time I do a play, I think, there is no way I can learn this.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
by the time we're performing, I'm like, I could rattle this off like it's a song I've known for 30 years.
How crazy.
Just trusting that it's going to work. It's
Yeah,
going to go
I
in.
love it. I
It's
love
going to
that.
go in.
There was this one monologue I did in a play called Whore. It was this guy having this full freak out in the supermarket and he was talking about like washing powder and detergent and this monologue didn't make sense. Well, it makes sense in the context of the story, but as a piece of writing,
Just
you're
shit writing. No, it's
definitely not.
No,
It's
no,
very
no.
well written, but it was so hard to learn.
Yeah.
And I had to make the walls of my bedroom the supermarket.
Yeah.
I was cracked out for that process.
Yeah.
But like how fun.
Yeah.
That's the kind of brain training anyone should
And
be
just
doing.
such a rewarding challenge as well when you're able to do it. And you're
When
like,
you're
I got this. Like this, I cannot believe I can do this.
Yeah,
So
and you're
cool.
like not even thinking about knowing the lines anymore because you're thinking about what the character's thinking.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're at the end of it and you're just like, we all just went on that together.
Yeah, yeah. And they become your thoughts.
So cool.
It's so cool. And it is just repetition, eh?
Pretty much. Putting it in my body really helps. I'm really
Do you move
physical.
around when you rehearse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like if there's one line that I can't get, I'll like make a little dance move.
Interesting.
And then it's there.
That's really, you're like connecting it to your body.
I'm like actually putting it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Which is not that helpful for self-tapes because there's such a quick
No.
turnaround. But it's great for longer form stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a physicality to it. I think I just heard your stomach growl then.
That was you.
That was like, I was like, wow.
But yeah, just knowing that it's been in your head
Yeah.
and trusting that on the day, once they get into the room,
Yeah.
then it's going to happen. Trusting
Yeah.
myself, trusting that I am able to free myself from myself, and it's gonna work.
So fun. It's so fun. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about all the times I've been driving to set on the first day.
Yeah,
Like that's fucking scary. But
So
it's
scary.
so fun. It's
Yeah.
so rewarding. And then afterwards you're like exhausted.
Mm.
But you're so tired and I haven't even gone on my phone because I've just been so present. Like the day's gone and here we are.
yeah,
I love that feeling.
yeah.
And I don't
did
get it.
and people are happy, and I had great conversations with people, and
Yeah. I giggled.
Oh, man.
I
It's
cracked
the
some
best.
silly jokes
Yeah.
and we made a bit of a film.
What about like
on.
being a day player, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's hard, eh?
Yeah, you got to
Because
just like
you
come
don't
in and
get the opportunity to get to know everyone.
Yeah.
And you're usually there like 3 weeks into a shoot and everyone's besties.
yeah.
And you're like, hey,
But I remember
what's
like,
the vibe here?
yeah, like is that joke an inside joke?
Yeah,
Or should
yeah.
I-
What's that inside joke mean?
Yeah, it's like bro, just die. Sometimes you just need to turn up
Yeah,
and it's not about you. You're just a cog in the machine.
that's it.
And that's
it.
okay. That's really okay.
And it's not just okay. It has to be the mindset.
Yeah, you're
Because
not the center of attention.
Yeah, you're a day
Sorry.
player. You're not going
Yeah.
to steal the scene. You have to understand where you fit in the context of that moment and how you fit around the protagonist's
Yeah.
story.
What's your purpose
Yeah.
for them?
Yeah.
And just do that.
Yep.
Because it ain't about you, bro.
It's not about you.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I remember we heard about it like through uni. My teacher was like, most working actors are just those people. They'll come in because she was working in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And so she was in like Supernatural and like those kind of Vancouver shows
Mm-hmm.
that just pump out episodes. She'd just turn up, die for an episode. And that was the job. Like
Yeah.
you just turn up and you just die.
Yeah.
And no one cares if you're bringing in an Oscar-worthy performance. You just need to die.
Yep.
Like that.
just need
you're
to
at the start.
Make
the
sure the
episode.
story's being sold and you're that little
Yeah.
cog.
And it's like, do all your prep, but like,
Shut up and die.
yeah. But that's really funny. Like,
Yeah.
and it's funny that we do, like, I've done 4 years of training and I would die to die. I want to die in Supernatural. Yes. I'll
Hell
turn
yeah.
up and just like hit a wall and blood splatters.
Yeah. But if I don't leave a set covered in blood and sweat,
What was the point?
was I even acting?
Like if I don't
Yeah.
have dirt under my nails, it's
Yeah.
not real dirt. It's like painted dirt.
Yeah. If I can still speak without
Yeah.
like, if my throat isn't killing me, was I even acting?
Yeah.
When you're on a set, okay, obviously you're there to do the job.
Yeah.
But have you noticed this flow on effect from job to job?
Well, like I've been so lucky in that it's you meet someone on a job and then suddenly they're on the next 3 jobs.
Yeah.
And you become great friends because you're spending so much time together. And film sets are weird because it's like instant bestie mode, you know?
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
you start like sharing weird things about each other and like that's just the nature because there's so much time waiting.
Yeah. And also you're all in the same game. You're
Yeah.
all part of the same struggle
We're
and
all
you all have the
fighting.
same dream.
Yeah.
You're all
Yeah.
just as delusional as each other,
Yeah.
you know? So you have something in common.
Yeah,
So have this
you don't
instant
even
connection.
need that weird like,
Yeah.
are we compatible? Because of course we're going to be compatible as
Yeah.
friends because we consume the same types of things.
Yeah.
ever since I think like first year at uni, I did some random short films that I saw through Facebook, and they were like Maps, the school which
I went to Maps.
You went to get out
15 years ago.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I'm talking your language right now.
Yeah.
There was a Maps film.
I'm quite old.
This boomer. It was a Maps film directed by Andrea Rizos, and on that set, I was meeting all these people and they were so nice. And I was like, oh my God, these people were so fun. This was just like a hangout. Switch to now, they're working on every film since.
Isn't that crazy? When I did this show the other day,
Yes.
I knew the whole crew.
I know. And they're all
And
like,
I was like, these guys were at Flinders like 2 years ago.
how beautiful. Yeah.
And they were just like, yeah, working so much now.
yeah.
There's no better feeling than getting to a set and being like,
Yeah.
we're doing it, guys.
Oh my
we're doing
God,
it. It's
yeah.
so fun.
It's
we're
like-
all, it feels like we're rising with the tide, you know, together.
Silly little reunions. And then you make something and you're like, okay, I won't see you for a couple of weeks, but I will see you
Yeah.
soon.
And when I do,
We're going to party.
we're going to hug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that stuff.
Yeah. That is how
And it's
the
like,
flow-on effect works.
I guess on paper that is networking, but it's not networking because it's friends hanging out making
Well, that's a
stuff.
much healthier way to look at it.
Yeah, yeah,
Which is
yeah,
what
yeah.
it should be.
Yeah.
It should be genuinely interested in what they're doing.
Yeah.
And make genuine connections. I love what I do.
Yeah.
And I genuinely want you to also achieve what you want to achieve. And
And if that
let's
means we
enjoy
work
that together.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Together.
You owe me a Coke.
Oh my God.
That was a beautiful moment. I'm
That
so
was. That's got to be. You're welcome for that. I'm
wow.
sure that sounded good.
I'm sure it did. We'll have that on stereo. Together.
Nice.
Um,
Yeah. You can't like fake that stuff because it's just kind of. If I didn't do that first film in first year drama school, which was separate to drama school, I would have met them eventually, but it's building blocks.
Isn't it crazy?
It's a butterfly effect.
Yeah, well, it is. Like, isn't it weird looking back on the steps that you took?
Yeah.
I love thinking about that. Like,
It's so weird.
even the jobs that I've had outside of acting,
everything.
and or like COVID, and being trapped in that apartment and being like, I need to socialize because I did a play.
You did?
I did a play in 2020.
Was that for the Fringe?
Oh yeah, that one. That was Fringe. Yeah, that was like 2 years ago.
Oh, that was 2 years. That was recent. What was your
Yeah.
2020 play?
Laramie Project.
Oh my God, yeah, I'm familiar.
I hadn't done a play in 10 years, and that's I was not involved in acting.
Okay,
Like I was
that's
out of it. I was just drinking myself silly.
bold choice.
Well, I didn't know anything about it. I Googled amateur theatre Adelaide
Cool.
and Red Phoenix came up. But it was like the best thing I've ever done.
Because that is, they're like recreating real people.
Verbatim
That's
theatre.
the word. I
So
can't
it's it's based on the interviews that they did back in 1998 or whenever it was.
Heavy. It's heavy.
So heavy.
Yeah.
And we playing 10 characters each.
What a
No,
welcome back.
7 or 10. Yeah, unreal.
back to
But
acting.
we had such a tight-knit ensemble. Like we all loved each other so much and we cared so deeply about the story. And it was the first time that I was like, I got it. Like I understood why we were doing this.
Cool.
Because I was like, oh, I wasn't just performing. I wasn't just like feeding my ego and being like, look at me, mum. You know, I was like understanding a script and analyzing it and workshopping, and
So fun.
it was really meaningful. And yeah, we sold out every show.
Yeah.
Sick.
I fell in love with TV and film first as a kid, and then I fell in love with acting myself through theatre.
Yeah.
And like being on stage in front of an audience. And then you find, oh wait, you can do the TV thing as well. And then that became a passion. But it was like
And
theatre's
you
just
can
where
use
it
the
starts.
skills that you learn in theatre to actually amplify your skills in TV and theatre and
It's
TV
all
and film.
connected,
It
yeah.
is.
And they make you a better actor. I think you got to do both.
Yeah,
Well, you should.
have to, man.
You should
I think you
do
have
both.
to. I think because there was a big thing, at least here in Adelaide, for a long time, where people would say, "Are you film or theatre?" And
I reject. I
Good.
reject that.
yeah,
question.
because it's like, what do you mean? I'm an actor. I have to do both.
I remember I did a workshop, and it was like an audition workshop for drama schools. Mm-hmm. And everyone was like, "What do you want to be when you're older?" And I was like, "I want to be an actor who works on stage and screen."
Yeah,
And the whole room went,
you You can't do both.
What?
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
I can't believe this is a thing though.
Yeah, I was like, but that was the same, like, it was the naive brain where I was like, but I want to do it, so I'm going to try and do it.
Yeah.
What do you mean? The lady that was teaching the workshop was a stage and screen actor, so I don't know why she was shocked. Because I was like, Diva, you do this.
This is my thing.
Yeah, I was like, I know you do this.
Yeah.
I've seen your CV. It's kind of strange, and I stand by it. I'm a stage and screen actor, and I want to do both.
Yeah.
If they'll both have me, you know, like they're very different, but I get
they're different and they're the same in other ways. Like, and you obviously nail both.
And they feed my soul. Thank you. I need to see you on stage.
Yeah, I haven't done a play in ages.
Do another.
I would love to. If anyone's got a good script that they want me for.
This guy, that's fun.
I do love it because, well, you get to sit with the project for a lot longer.
Yeah.
And you fall in love with it, you know. But that's where I learned how to act because you have, you know, with amateur theatre, you got more time than like professional. You got 3 months with this script. I know, that's a luxury. I know.
But maybe not, you know.
Well, it was good for me because that's where I learned how to act.
Sure.
And like I could probably streamline that into like a 5-week rehearsal now, but
yeah. Oh, now.
Yeah.
Sure.
But 3 months to have a script and to get to know your ensemble and all that time to understand, to analyze your character and their story and build this world. And then being able to apply the skills that you've learnt through that process and streamline them into a 5-week rehearsal or a day, you know, when you have to jump onto set tomorrow and be like, all right, I know exactly what the process is and I can streamline that.
Like there's no linear way of like training or like you don't have to go to drama school. You're proof of it. You don't. You could find your training through those amateur theatre things. Like it's all about experience. If you don't do anything, that's what like why you're not an actor because you're not practicing. Yeah. But if you apply yourself,
there is not one pathway in.
No. Or you can be really lucky and walk the street and get scouted and then you've set, but you know,
good luck.
Good luck with that. If that's your
I don't think there is one pathway in, obviously.
No.
Because I didn't, but I sometimes I think about like, oh, should I have? But at the time, like during my 20s, I was just preoccupied.
Yeah,
I had done some acting, like I'd done some good commercials and certainly done some theatre, but then I just got distracted with life and relationships and
classic
alcohol and shit. You know?
That guy.
Oh, and music. You know, I was playing music full time. So, and then by the time I was like, I fell in love with acting again. I was like, I can't afford to not be in the industry.
Yeah.
I can't be studying right now because I'm getting on.
It's scary. Like
I'm
putting your life on hold for that long.
Yeah.
Even though you're developing yourself as a person and a creative and an actor, it does feel like, oh my God, I'm so far away from where everything's happening.
But what you do get out of drama school is you have a community.
Yeah. Oh my
every
God.
single day.
What
and
you're
that
saying,
must be, I mean, that's what I get out of theatre.
Yeah.
Going to rehearsal every day with my
same people, ensemble. And you know who your collaborators are, you know who like juxtaposes your skills and we just knew that when we were on stage together, it was just like a fun experience for everyone. And like we fed each other creatively. And so it was because we spent that long together. 4 years is a long time. And it's like, if I was working a part-time job for 4 years, I'd be like, get me out of here.
Yeah.
And by the end of drama school, I was like, get me out of here. But I want to,
because you were ready to
act.
go. Yeah.
I want to do the thing. Like we've been talking about it and doing it in these walls for so long. But the good thing is the 4th year was like, they know that and they expect that. So they sort of allowed industry people to come watch us.
Yeah. So you were exposed to the people that you needed to sort of take you onto the next step.
Totally.
You know,
so it was like opening doors that would have been locked.
Really
otherwise.
hard to find if you're not
Yeah.
part of that process, you know?
Yeah, it can be kind of everyone else is like, what goes on at Flinders? Because it's like a fortress, but it's like they want to facilitate good actors. And so.
And it seems to have worked really well for you.
Hopefully, yeah. But I want to try.
You're getting in rooms and people
get
know
in
you.
the rooms, foot's in the door, and then it's funny when people are like, "Whoa, I thought you were so much older." And
Thanks.
they're like, "I thought you graduated years ago," and I was like, "Well."
So do you think that's a perception that you sort of put out in the world?
Well, kind of. I think it goes back to how people see you, and I was like, I was making stuff and doing stuff and telling the world about it. So people thought I was like a functioning part of the industry from whatever day they thought that.
It's wild, isn't it? It's so essential.
Yeah.
It's honestly,
it
feels like
I
a
was
cheat
posting
code.
all of that, like being myself and being proud of the stuff I do, because then people were becoming aware of it. And
Like I feel people are not making the most of this thing that we have in our hands.
It's right.
It's so
who gives a fuck? Just post it. I don't know. Is it that deep? No.
No one's watching it anyway.
No one fucking cares.
But the right people are.
Yeah.
It's
and
hard.
If they don't care,
It's a hard sort of threshold to go over.
Yeah.
It's that cringe threshold.
Yeah, like, come on, we're all a bit cringe.
Yeah.
Once you just get over the fact.
We're actors, man.
Like, we're wearing wigs. Like,
Yeah, you wait till you see my salami ad, man.
I cannot wait.
It's so funny.
I'm so sad.
Yeah.
And
But it's honestly, for me, since I just like, I said, fuck it, man, I'm going to start posting because I'm not wasting these opportunities, these moments when, you know, you get a decent film and you're like no one's going to do that for you. You're not going to get some PR team emailing you being like, right, let's go.
No.
And if you miss that boat, it'll sail away.
Yeah.
And so I say make the most of any opportunity that you get and make a big deal out of it. And people's perception of you will...
Whatever happens to it, something's happening to it. They're thinking of you.
Yeah, even just
It's nice.
being in the forefront of people's minds.
Yeah.
Whether that's other filmmakers or just people that are interested in this world that aren't part of it.
I really like people,
really helpful.
like they say, I've seen your stuff and how do I go about being an actor?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure you get that heaps. Like, this is what I did. Do whatever, you just do something about it. If you want to be an actor, do something about it.
So what would you tell those people?
Sign up to a class or just pick something and do that. And then it's a thing.
Go to amateur theatre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Go to a workshop or an adult beginner's drama class or something.
Literally anything.
Or go make a shitty film with your friends.
Yeah. Do the 48-hour film challenge.
Yeah.
Come on.
You guys had some serious success in that. That just took you to
ridiculous.
Tell us what the film is called.
The film is called This Is Fine. It's about 3 housemates.
So good.
It's ridiculous, but we got the genre climate change.
Which is a genre now, apparently.
Yeah, fucking what? All right.
Yeah.
The moment I saw it, I was like,
what?
It was climate change or superhero.
Okay.
And I was like, can I opt out? Yeah. I was like, oh, whatever, I'll hang out. And so we went for climate change. It's about 3 housemates that are denying climate change and the world is on fire around them, but they're just so stuck in their own
toxic
heads.
Optimism. Yeah.
Totally. They're just like oblivious, obnoxious, etc. And it's like it's a comedy, but it's pretty satirical. It's satirical.
Okay,
it's satirical. I actually only did 12 hours work, like, because I was there probably from 8 till 8 on the filming day. And so I'm like, hey, that's me done. That was so fun. Love that. Good luck to the edit. See ya. And then suddenly we won, and then you go to Seattle. The film went to Seattle, and then it went to France. And you're like,
unreal,
but
man.
You won last year.
We did.
Yeah. So come on, this is a victory. This is a victory.
Yeah, look at us.
Come on, but it's crazy the reach that those films can have.
I cannot understand how you guys made that in 48 hours.
Like,
it's very ambitious.
Really talented people.
Yeah, Ren Williams.
Yeah, Queen director. I can list off everybody. Yeah. Charlie Alderson wrote it. He keeps winning script awards. And
nice.
Yeah, makes sense.
Who shot that?
Jack Morton.
Oh, that's right, Jack.
Yeah.
He's such a sweet guy.
Yeah, he's so cute. But no one goes into it thinking that let's make a 48-hour film and go to France with it.
No.
Because what the fuck? It's just a shock, right? I think yours went to Portugal.
I think so.
I think
I didn't really,
I
didn't really hear what happened to it after that.
Because I looked up.
But then, of course, we're like, is anyone going to fly themselves to Portugal?
No,
Everyone's like, nah.
Yeah, I didn't have the time to go to Seattle, but Zoe, who was in the film, she did go to Seattle. And she made friends with all the 48-hour people. And it's...
What a moment, though.
The world becomes smaller.
Yeah.
And it's because you just say yes. You're like, what's one weekend? I'll do it.
Yeah. Why not?
And then I got a 2-week Europe trip out of it this year. Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not?
I always come across like misconceptions with acting. People have this idea of what it is and how to do it. And so much of teaching it is just like undoing all those misconceptions.
Myths and stuff.
You know?
Like what?
Well, one is like character. And like people think that character is solely physical traits or something.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Like it's the language they use.
Yeah.
It's the attitude to the world. You know, it's funny enough, the physical does help.
Yeah.
You know, for Fagstag, I was pulled down to the earth a bit because my character, he wasn't confident. He's not the type of guy to walk around with his chest out. And then it's the language they use. The writer's done that for a reason.
Yeah.
Play up bits of yourself and let that inform some of the character. I love that. Especially in film, I find that because you can't fight what you look like.
Are you conscious of like how your character is presenting in the world?
You're not like part of the unless the character is really self-conscious, in which case
unless it's true to the character.
Yeah. Then you're like, you don't want to be thinking about how you look. I don't. No. I'll crash.
We have no choice in that. Yeah, it's good. I just asked that because like, to any like newer actors out there that might be listening, to the one actor out there that's listening.
Hey,
thanks for watching, Mum.
Guys.
That's something I see a lot with like new actors when we're developing a character, and all they're thinking about is like their physical traits, and that's it. And it's like this very shallow approach, you know,
which it certainly is a great starting point.
Can be. But like, I think a character can just be a guy that's lost his bus ticket.
Totally.
You know?
And he might stand the same way you do.
Yeah.
But like, it's being aware of how you stand normally and let it be an informed choice.
Yeah.
Don't just like, I'm
Do you make those choices early on, or do you let them come to you?
My general thing is that I start big and then strip. So like in rehearsals, if I don't start bigger or like more broader choices, then I can't find the specific stuff. If I'm already starting with specific stuff, there's kind of like, it's harder to recalculate.
Yeah, because you lock yourself into something.
Yeah. But if you're like, I'm just going to be like really open and responsive to anything, and then we can find what actually works.
Yeah, because you're in a playful sort of...
Yeah, it's all play.
Yeah, you're trying lots of different things. You're open to lots of different things. And how are you supposed to know what fits if you haven't tried it on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't play the final performance in rehearsal 1.
No.
But some people, like, you've got to go through that discovery.
Yeah.
Relax, sit down and just like be more fluid with it all. And you'll find good things.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
And where can we find you on socials?
Yes, my Instagram is Connor Pullinger, which is just my name. And then I do have a TikTok. It's Connor Pully. Pullinger, just cut it at the eye. Where I do a little bit of dancing and I earn a bit of money.
Do you?
Because of that, yeah.
It's so good.
Silly.
So
For
fun.
some reason, I just get emails and I'm like, I'll make a TikTok about it.
Really? I was wondering what the story was there.
Guys, I'm not a sellout, all right? Come on.
You're just a hustler.
I'm a hustler. Come on, I'm a creative.
Yeah.
There you go. Catch me on those socials. Let's connect.
I love it. Thanks so much, man.
Thanks,
dude. This
was
was awesome.
Yeah, this was so fun. It was
Come
great
back
to just talk.
Yeah, isn't it good?
Yeah.
I love these conversations, man.
Yeah.
Come back anytime, though.
Thanks so much. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks, man. See you soon. Man, wasn't that sweet? I absolutely loved having that conversation. So many pearls of wisdom. Thank you so much for listening. I really hope you got a lot out of that conversation. And hey guys, if you really like what I'm doing here and you want to help support the show and keep this thing going, you can do so by signing up to the Patreon at patreon.com/gopluckyourselfpod and contributing as little as $5 a month towards the show. Now, here's the thing. I'm not interested in doing any sort of tiered payment system with Patreon. If you can't afford to contribute to the show, that's totally fine. You'll still be able to listen for free. You'll get the exact same show. All contributions are completely voluntary. Think about it like when you see a busker and you can either drop in a $5 or you can just give them a smile and enjoy the music. You know, either way, I'm still going to sing to you. Okay, 2 things to remember with Patreon. 1, if you're using an iPhone, don't use the Patreon app because Apple will take 30% of your contribution just for using this stupid app. But you can avoid the 30% fee by using a browser like Safari or Chrome. It's an easy fix. 2, when you go into Patreon, make sure you click See Membership Options. Don't press Join for Free. Joining for free does absolutely nothing. It's just a way for Patreon to take your data. It doesn't mean you're contributing anything towards the show at all. So press See Membership Options when you go to patreon.com/GoPluckYourselfPod. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Please join me next week. I have another really great friend on the show, actor, producer, assistant director, Jazzy, aka JJ Leach. It's a really lovely chat. She's got some amazing insights. She's the first filmmaker I've had on the show, but not the last. If you want a perspective from someone that works behind the camera, it's definitely one that you don't want to miss. So please subscribe and follow so you don't miss that episode with JJ Leach. All right, guys, my name is Chris Gunn, and hey, go pluck yourself.